G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. G'day guys and welcome to Casual Rage 139, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week, and the topic of this week is, of course, Ahsoka Tano. We had the Ahsoka series drop, of course, and we're going to be breaking that down, and then, of course, at the end we'll do Seal of the Week and see how we go for time. But before we get right into this, I'm going to bring in a couple of my guests. Of course, we have...
Hello, what have we here?
The beautiful Anna, that Star Wars girl. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good.
That's good. And let me just bring in, and then we'll start talking. Which one do I want to play? Where is it? I don't have one for you. Fuck, I've lost it. Oh well, we'll just bring him in. No, I'll play this one.
Just pick one.
Yeah.
How you doing, you old pirate? So good to see you.
How you doing, Grant?
G'day. Yeah, I mean, you could have just picked anything. That's fine. I mean, you don't have to do anything special for little old me, but I appreciate it.
All right, so welcome, guys. We got a massive discussion to go through with Ahsoka Tano. I'm guessing that you've both watched it. In fact, I know you've both watched it. And I guess, well, before I actually get into talking to you guys about that, let me just quickly say hello to the chat. I'm a little bit off my game today. It's a little bit weird because I'm so used to now doing this stream by myself. We got Fractured Filter in the chat. We've got Nuisance Bird. We've got Miss Martin Muses. How you doing? Miss Melissa Lord, sorry. We've also got Riff with a member chat saying, we're here to see you tear Filoni a new one. Yes, we are going to tear Filoni a new one because this is typical Dave Filoni, retconning, garbage. It definitely feels like an animated show, but in live action. We got Pro Jack fan, Mike Hill, the great Mike Hill. How you doing? Good to see all the members here as well. Star Wars Marvel purist. How you doing? OG Star Wars is here. How you doing, Alora? Let me just scroll down a little bit. Tillium's here in the chat, and I'm all caught up with everybody in the chat. So, guys. First of all, I guess, what do you think of the first two episodes of Ahsoka? Anna?
Snooze fest.
Snooze fest?
Yeah. Well, I feel like this is every time Dave Filoni does something, it feels like it's paced like a video game.
Yep.
It's like, okay, your character does something like Ahsoka. She starts off by solving a puzzle. She gets the thing, she leaves the thing, and then it's a boss fight, like a mini boss fight. And then anytime something happens, even with Sabine, it's like, oh, she solves the puzzle, boss fight. So I was like, okay, so he knows how to pace video games, or they're gonna have a video game come out, and they already have it all paced out and outlined. It just, and it just sucked. It just sucked.
It did.
We can get more into like the certain details later, but yeah, it was boring.
We'll
I would
get
have expected so much more from his prized character, you know?
And Grant?
Yeah, I thought. I'll be honest. I thought it started off as a great Star Trek episode, like a modern Star Trek. That's what I thought I was watching. Especially with some of the choices of the music early on. Yeah, especially one with Sabine on the bike. That just I didn't. Where the hell did that come from? Because that definitely sounded like Star Wars.
The music in that. Oh my god. Well, we will get to that.
Now that Anna's said that, I can't help but go over everything that Filoni's done. He does write things like a freaking video game. I've never seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it's all paced out like as if you're playing a video game. And I think I'm so tuned into it now because I started playing the Jedi Fallen Order. And that's literally, I was like, this is paced exactly like Jedi Fallen Order. Come on, man.
A puzzle.
I mean, there's even a few throwbacks to that in this as well. Like, or throw forwards or sideways. I have no idea when the timeline on this one is.
No, well, me either, to be honest with you, because I got told that this started 5 years after Return of the Jedi. It's the same time that Mando Season 1's supposed to start.
Okay.
But yet this overlaps with the end of the Rebels series.
Rebels, yeah.
So, and I don't know when the end of the Rebels is supposed to take place. Obviously, if you've watched the Rebels series, the way it ends is that basically they've liberated Lothal, and then Sabine goes on to narrate what's happened in that time. So there's a little bit of a jump there, but it looks like Filoni's just gone, oh, I'll just use this as a time jump, and then overlap it.
Rebels was one of his babies, right? And so it's like, okay, that was one of your babies, and you retconned it.
Big time.
I don't get that. Like, all for the sake of Ahsoka, which he's going to destroy. Like, he's literally the greatest guy. It's Sabine. Like I'm saying, he's going to destroy all of these characters in this one series. You just watch. By the end of it, we're going to be like, bless you.
Thank you.
We're going to be like this. These aren't even close to the characters that he created. But everyone's going to be like, well, he created them, therefore it must be canon.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's with Ahsoka's like dead personality? And it's like, I've seen Rosario Dawson be fantastic in other roles. So I'm like, all of a sudden she's this stoic, I'm not going to speak, I'm just going to stare off. Maybe her contacts are bothering her too much, but I'm like, that's not even the way Ahsoka is. I did notice
never been that way.
Longer though, so at least they're trying there.
What's that last bit that you said? Sorry.
What?
What are they trying?
They're trying to make her Laku longer because they.
Yeah.
Here in Mando, and now they're like longer, and it's like perfect. It needs to be a lot longer, but you know,
it should actually be longer than even what it is now.
I know.
Even in the Rebels series, it's like down to like here now.
And people are like, well, she can't move in that. I'm like, do you think most of the people had an easy time moving? What about the actress that was Greedo? What about Jabba the Hutt? What about Yoda? What about any of the freaking Ewoks, man? Do you think any of that was easy? And no.
Yeah. Well, I also find it funny because I think one of the reasons why they said that they're not making the Leku longer is because it would get in the way of her lightsaber fighting. But then she fights in these.
She wears a fucking bag.
That's right. But then she fights in these floppy ass robes and everything, and it's like, are you not shredding half of that stuff while you're doing your little flips and shit? Like,
no, dude. Lightsabers do no damage anymore. Lightsabers don't do it. They won't hurt fabric.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
What were you going to say, Anna?
No, that's a challenge accepted kind of thing. Do you think most of the stuff that they did in the originals or even the prequels was easy?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
I don't know where the budget is going for this either, because I'm just like, what are you guys spending your money on? Because it's not like the visual effects are that great. You can obviously tell when they're on a set or a sound stage. And I don't, it's just disappointing. Like, this could have been so much better, and it just sucks.
Well, this is the thing, though, with all of Star Wars at the moment, Anna, is it's always disappointing because Star Wars should be visually stunning. It should look incredible. And it's like you're saying, you can definitely tell when it's in the soundstage. Now, I will say that there are definitely shots in this that are way better than Obi-Wan Kenobi, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could really tell in Obi-Wan.
Better than Obi-Wan and Mando and Boba Fett. It's boring, but I think it's better because, well, I mean, not to say you didn't know who Boba Fett was, but I think if you didn't watch Rebels, you're going to be completely lost. Like, you're going to have to watch a video or have somebody there explain it to you. But because I know who all of these characters are and I'm getting to see them in live action, like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But then at the same time, it's like, well, what a waste.
But also, too, these characters that we've seen in all the animated shows, like I've watched all the animated shows, I've watched Rebels, I've watched Clone Wars, I've watched it all. The only character that is anything like their counterpart character from the animated series is Chopper.
I was going to say, it's going to be the robot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Chopper. Now, look, I'm gonna point out, I had an issue with Chopper from the word go in regards to the fact that he's not that traditional astromech droid just with his beep beeps and boops, right? It almost sounds like it's muffled
He's trying to
speech,
talk.
right? Yeah. And I didn't really like that throughout the Rebels series, full stop. But it being that that's the way that they made him and that's the character that he was, they still did that in this. And it definitely came across like that interaction that he has with Hera in episode 2 there when they're going to put the tracking device on the ship, which we'll go through the breakdown. So don't worry, guys. But again, he is the most like his counterpart character from the animated show. Hera is, well, first of all, Hera looks like a cosplay character.
She does.
She looks like she belongs at Comic-Con or something like that.
She also is nothing like Hera.
Nothing.
Yeah.
None of them are. But I pointed this out and somebody got so mad at me. But I'm like, the only reason she got this part. So the actress was in some show with Ewan McGregor. He cheated on his wife with her, got her pregnant, left his wife, married her because he got her pregnant. So at least he did that. So the only reason they're doing this, she got the part in Birds of Prey. She's nothing like Huntress, but got cast as Huntress in Birds of Prey. Oh, who was in that? Oh, yeah, Ewan McGregor. Oh, we need somebody to play Hera. Oh, Ewan McGregor's like, hire my wife. It's like, oh, I wonder how she's getting all these roles.
Yep. It's all because she banged the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just get this.
I was doing something wrong.
let me just get this super chat really quickly from Mike Hill for 5. He says, with Morgan being revealed as a Night Sister, where was her powers during the fight against Ahsoka? And I made that point in my thanks, Mike, for the $5. I made that point in my review. It makes the fact that she has now been revealed as a Night Sister makes her and Ahsoka's fight in Mando season 2 even worse. Right? Like, I
thought it was bad to begin with, the way that Ahsoka fought.
So do I, because Ahsoka, this is the thing. When Force users go up against non-Force users, the fight should be over instantly. There should be no fight, right? You've got the Force. You can suspend them in midair. You could choke them if you're dark side. You could push them. You could pull them. You could do whatever you needed to do, right?
Unless they have like an Islamari on them, yes.
100%. 100%. Or they're Force sensitive themselves, like the fight between Dooku and Yoda in Attack of the Clones. But, now, Night Sisters essentially are technically Force sensitive, but they use the Force that they've got to use magic. I don't exactly know the ins and outs of how it works.
I think it's because they never really explained it, because they knew that if they explained it too much, it wouldn't make sense. So, like, it's a mystery.
Yeah.
Also, she's the wrong fucking species to be a Night Sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say she looks just a little bit different to the animation. Just a
It's
little.
funny.
Just
It's
a
funny, you know. Yeah, it's funny, you know, how there's like all these Jedi that survived Order 66, and there's now a couple of Night Sisters that have survived the Night Sister purge. You
It's
know,
in-
like it's incredible. Like just out of nowhere.
No one dies in Star Wars except if you're a male and you get stabbed with a lightsaber.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh my, that part.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
How hard did you guys roll your eyes when that happened?
Man. Because I was standing there going, this fight should be over, this fight should be over. And as soon as she stabbed her, I'm like, just fucking stab her, just kill her. And then it obviously happened. And I'm like, there's no way that she's dead. They're going to kill her off in the first episode.
When I was watching, I was like, choke a bitch, choke a bitch, choke the bitch, choke the bitch, choke the bitch, choke. Okay, that works.
Well, they could have killed each other so many times, like with all their flips and like, like just stab him. Stop going for the lightsaber. Go for her fucking head. Go for her hand. Chop. Like it would have been cool if she like chopped her hands off or chopped her legs off or something like that, and then just like
that would be
her
Star Wars chopping someone's arm off.
Yeah. Well, see, that would have been cool. Like if she just is like, no, I'm just going to take you off limb by limb and watch you suffer. And like that would have been more Sith-like. The stabbing her through the chest, we're like, well, yeah, we all know she's going to live because she's a main character and we've already seen.
No, she got a second stomach. Star Wars theory told me.
But this is the other thing too, Anna, is I watched your review of it and you're absolutely right. There was this one moment where Shin, I think is her name, the dark side user, she does this twirl around her and her cloak, Sabine ducks her cloak that goes over her head. Yeah. And I'm like, Sabine, why aren't you just stabbing forward in that moment? Like, what is going on? The choreography, look, the choreography definitely came across better than what we've seen in, like, again, Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? But it was still quite clunky and quite bad when it comes to that specific fight. Like, they just can't do Star Wars right at all. At all. All right, now that we've had a good discussion about it all, let's go through. So, first of all, I want to start with the crawl.
Yeah, dude. Fucking hell. I didn't know it was like that. I'm just like, as soon as I see this, I'm just like, okay, why is it red? Wait, why is it going? And it wasn't until I was halfway through, I'm like, why is it going up? Like, I was still just focused so much on the color of it.
But not only that, why isn't it centered? Why isn't it like
so irritating?
It irritated me so much seeing this. I'm like, if you're going to do a Star Wars crawl, just do a Star Wars crawl. Does it matter that it's a movie or a TV show compared to a movie? Does it really matter that much? Can't we have that color? I mean, even if you wanted to do it in this red, where's the bold text? Where's the centering part? Like, really got to my, like, I don't know. It doesn't look right at all. And
well, not just that. I actually stopped and measured each side. It's actually the whole text block itself is actually off center. It's a little more to the left than it is to the right as well.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's also just so someone's just put it up there and went, oh yeah, scroll up, there we go, done.
That'll do.
It's like they forgot about it.
That'll do. And the other thing too with this crawl that we got is for those people out there that haven't watched Rebels. I mean, look, if you have watched Rebels and you're watching this show, this is the thing that doesn't make sense to me, is I don't know how they can basically seal clap the way they are. I don't know how they can sit there and praise this when, like we're saying, the characters aren't like their animated counterparts. The backstories, the retcons, everything that we've been seeing in this series doesn't match up with the Rebels series. You may as well just throw your Rebels series in the bin, right? It's kind of like the Ahsoka book. The Ahsoka book's been completely retconned by Tales of the Jedi. So you may as well just throw your book in the bin because it doesn't mean anything anymore because of Dave Filoni, the savior of Star Wars, our Jesus. It's crazy.
That's what I also don't get. They're taking all the stuff that was established in work and throwing it out in the bin, yet they do a shot-for-shot recreation as well. Like, it's the ultimate trying to have the cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Ahsoka, like even in this crawl, they call her a Jedi Knight. She's not. She literally said she wanted to be known as a citizen. She didn't want to be a Jedi. Like
even in my video, their description mentions her as a Jedi Knight, former Jedi Knight. Like, if we're actually being technical, she never made it to knighthood in the Jedi Order. Never. She was a Jedi Padawan and left the temple before she became a knight. So even in their descriptions, they can't even get it right. But like I said, this crawl just annoyed me. What I was going to say, sorry, is if you haven't watched the Rebel series and you're reading this crawl as like an update of where we're up to, it actually does a bad job of explaining where we are in the galaxy at this time period for those people that aren't keeping up to date with absolutely everything Star Wars. Anyway, what do you think, Anna?
I mean, I was pleasantly surprised that it was back, but then I was like, why is it red? Why isn't it centered? Why isn't it at the angle?
Going off into the stars? Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just do that? Like, I just didn't get it. I was happy to see it back because I'm like, that was most of my, a big complaint I had with Rogue One. I'm like, you could cut out the first hour and a half of this movie if you just had an opening crawl explaining certain things like that. That's Star Wars. I think every Star Wars movie that you make should have one. And like, it's not an official Skywalker saga thing. I'm like, shut the fuck up, just do it. That's Star Wars. I like that it opened with the ship.
Yeah, so do I.
Nice. I was like, okay, they're trying, but then again, it was just like a video game. The whole Ahsoka being a Jedi Knight thing, no, she's not. And I was just calling her that because it's easy. Maybe that's what they do. And then people were yelling in the comments. They're like, she's not a real Jedi Knight. Da, 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 da. And it's like, oh my God. What do you want me to say? Every single time I refer to her. A good guy, bad guy. I'm like, Jedi, Sith.
Yeah, a light side Force user.
I'm just going to say Jedi. I'm not going to police my words. This isn't Twitter. It's, pronoun police, whatever. We all know she didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not working officially on Disney, so I can get away with those kind of things. But then they just don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I will agree with you. I did like this. Like, just the ship coming out, obviously. That's probably the best part of it for me. There was something in here that... It's funny that you mentioned Star Trek, Grant. When
that's what it started off, and it felt like... Even aesthetically, it kind of looks like modern Trek.
Well, I didn't really get that. It was the bit where he actually leaves the bridge and he goes, "The bridge is yours," or whatever. Right? When he goes to meet them. Where is it? I'll see if I can find the actual line. Yeah.
It's when he gets up off the chair, I'm pretty sure.
These Jedi have security meet me in the hangar.
This makes this whole sequence makes sense.
You've got the bridge.
You got the bridge, yeah.
Like, that just made me think of Star Trek. And there was the other bit at the... I'll just quickly jump forward. The other bit at the end of... And we will talk about that. At the end of episode 2, when Ahsoka says to Sabine, "Take us out." And she goes, "Padawan." You remember that bit? Take us out, Padawan. Like, I'm thinking, take us out? Take us out. Okay. Sounds a lot like Star Trek there. But what were you going to say about this, Grant? Doesn't make sense.
So how old would those codes be?
Those Jedi codes that they use?
Yeah.
Pretty old, I would think.
Why the fuck would he be going out there with 2 security only? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Like, maybe it's the frequency channel, right? So even though it's old, like, you could still turn on an old radio channel and it's still there. It might just be static. That's what I gathered from it. But I think that's why he's like, no, this is complete bullshit.
Yeah, it's phony.
I don't know why the captain would go down. Maybe he was just interested to see, but I feel like that's a first officer type of thing.
Yeah.
Also, the bridge looks exactly like J.J. Abrams' Star Trek.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I also want to point something out that I noticed. How is this Mon Calamari soldier supposed to wield that weapon with those hands? How is he supposed to get that gun out of that holster with the hands that he has? I know it's a little nitpick, but it's a trap. I just thought that was quite funny. Okay, so obviously Balin and his apprentice come to the ship, and the captain stops him from coming on. They want to see the prisoner, Morgan. Now, this is the other thing too that I've got to ask. So, being that Morgan is a prisoner, that means that this actually takes place after season two of Mando.
Yeah. I didn't think of that.
Because Ahsoka obviously fights her and gets her arrested and takes her to the New Republic, is what I'm guessing. So again, we're once again all over the place in regards to timeline and that sort of thing. Because, like I said, I was under the impression that this was supposed to take place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Mando season 1 takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And based on what Jon Favreau's had to say about that, is that Grogu spent many years with Mando, then spent 2 years with Luke after the end of Mando season 2. So between Mando season 1 and the end of Mando season 2, there's many years in there, apparently. So again, I don't understand where we are exactly in the timeline, but based on this fact, it's got to be after Mando season 2 when Ahsoka fights Morgan.
I mean, unless it's some stupid thing where she's captured, she gets free, they do the whole season thing, and then she gets captured again. Like, is that what they're trying to say?
Well, see,
that doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense, but that's what people are trying to say in regards to Sabine being Ahsoka's apprentice. There's a lot of people, and that's why I'd made my video. If you want, go check it out. I did a little video explaining why it doesn't make sense. But Sabine being Ahsoka's apprentice, people are trying to use their headcanon to justify that by saying that the end of Rebels, when Ahsoka's standing there in her white cloak with her staff, Gandalf-like, right? Sabine went off with her then. They went and trained. Then this is all off screen. And then Ahsoka walked away from Sabine. Sabine went back to Lothal. And then we're doing it all again in this series.
Shot
for shot. That's how people are trying to justify it. And it's such a weird thing to me. So they obviously infiltrate the ship. What do you think of this whole scene, the hallway scene with Balin here? What do you think of all this?
I thought it was kind of weird that he'd moved the lightsaber to where they were going to shoot, and they shoot there. Like, no one aimed for him. It was just move here, move here, move here, move here. It was very robotic.
Well, one thing I noticed is if you slow this down, there are more shots being fired at him than he actually deflects.
You're such a fucking nerd.
I know. I know. But it's true. If you actually watch the guy that's the soldier that's in front of the other two guys, he actually fires off like 5 shots, and you see all 5 shots, but then he only deflects like 3, and that doesn't include the other 2 guys beside him that are shooting right at him down a hallway, mind you. Anyway. All right, so then they save Morgan. I don't even know what to say about this. It's exactly like Anna said at the beginning. This is video game stuff. This is like your
scene right
sorry?
now. Like this is a cut scene. So it's showing you what's happening, and then you're playing as Ahsoka and you solve a puzzle, and then you fight a mini boss.
Yeah.
And then when it cuts to like her with the robot and having to like jump, I'm like, that's the very beginning of whatchamacallit, Fallen Order, is when he's jumping from the train and he's got to try to jump onto the ship in the air. I'm like, this is how it all happens. It was so irritating.
Now, when she gets here, I actually thought that this was a Jedi temple, and when she actually uses her lightsabers to cut her way into the thing, I'm like, that's a good way to get into a Jedi temple. Don't sit there and meditate or anything and, figure it out. Just cut your way in. But it's obviously not a Jedi temple. This is ruins of a Night Sister, I don't know, temple that's not on Dathomir. I don't really get it. But again, just going back to where's that shot where she takes this. This is the facial expression of Ahsoka that you get throughout the entire fucking show.
Yep.
You can't have a strong female unless they're looking pouty and stern. That's the only way you can have a strong female now, Rana. You know the rules.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. But
Who was saying this show is just women in space? Because that's all it was. The show is just women in space.
Yeah. Her to the Empire.
Yeah. I like that.
I want to before we continue with that, I actually want to show you guys something. So, I don't know if you heard, but Ahsoka has now made it to Galaxy's Edge because, every Disney Star Wars character can be at Galaxy's Edge now.
Except for Vader.
No, well, he's not a Disney Star Wars character. Now, as I was just mentioning to you, the character of Ahsoka in the Ahsoka series is bland. She's dry. There's no emotion in the face or anything like that. The person being Ahsoka at Galaxy's Edge has been told to do the exact same thing. I want to show you this. Watch this. All the photos that she takes and everything. That's the pose for a fucking photo.
Isn't she wonderful?
Yeah, it's
Like,
it was almost a smile there. Did you see that?
Almost. Fucking, oh my God. Disney Star Wars is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Now, this is the other thing too, is there are so many scenes in this series where it just drags. It just drags. And this is where Anna's point comes into play in regards to how boring this is, right? There is so much of nothing going on for this next, I don't know, let's see, 7.5 minutes all the way through to when she gets the fucking thing.
The magic ball in the wall.
The magic ball. To 11 and nearly 12 minutes.
So I reckon I could take this episode and cut it down to a solid 20 to 25 minute episode quite easily, and not lose a single thing.
There's no dialogue. There's no any. Now, obviously, she's by herself, so there's not really going to be any dialogue. There's a little bit of chatter between her and the droid. Anna, remind me. You know the droid that she's got? This is the one that teaches the younglings in the Clone Wars how to make their lightsabers. He's the lightsaber droid. Do we see him in Rebels?
I don't know. I don't feel like we did, just because when I was watching it and I'm like, I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, I don't remember him. Maybe my memory is just not that good.
Me either. I don't remember it either, so I was just curious. Chat, if you know, let us know.
Had just even a little floating droid next to her that she can talk to. If they want the actors to be talking more, they could. That's so simple, especially in Star Wars, just having a little droid with them.
Yeah.
That they talk to throughout it. They did it plenty of times with Luke when it's just Luke and R2 going to Dagobah, so that way Luke had somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Or she's recording a message or anything. There's a million different things that they could do to, instead of having someone staring off in space, because we know she's not even looking at anything because there's nothing really there.
Mm.
Well, even Ahsoka is a very animated character. Even when she's depressed or angry, she still has something witty to say. Yep. So all of a sudden it's no, you have to be stoic. I'm like,
It's
the
like
whole
making a
time.
stoic Spider-Man. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was crap. Helicopter lightsabers. That's something that we must see in live action before we fucking. I thought we
If
were
we
going to see
don't,
it
I'm
in
gonna
Obi-Wan
riot.
Kenobi. Me too.
We got close.
What? See
We
what?
did. Helicopter lightsabers.
Mm.
So I thought that Reva was going to do it in Obi-Wan Kenobi when she was going from rooftop to rooftop, but she just decided to do
That's what
parkour
I thought it was
instead.
going to be.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought we were going to see a bit of a moment in this. Now I do have a couple of predictions as well, but we'll get to that. So she gets inside the temple thing. She does her little puzzle to get the map. Now the map. Let's talk about the map for a second. How and why was this map even made? It's kind of like the dagger, right, from the sequels, The Rise of Skywalker. So Ezra and Thrawn at the end of Rebels gets taken by the Purgle into the unknown regions, into another galaxy, another galaxy far away. How was this map made that takes them directly to Thrawn? And what does that have to do with the Night Sisters? Because this is an ex-Night Sisters temple. It just so happens to be like, when was this temple made with this map in it? Can anyone make sense of that?
Wait, so we're not allowed to use headcanon? That's right. So no, I can't.
No, not allowed to use headcanon.
Dude, it's still my biggest thing. Like, even I think this is worse than the dagger because this was done years before that even happened. And I'm sure that something's going to happen. It's going to be some weird world between worlds thing that it was put there probably by fucking Ezra himself or someone, which doesn't make any sense. Or he had the map and he threw it and it stuck into the wall, and then the Night Sisters saw it in there, and then they started worshiping it for some reason. You know, it'll be something stupid like that.
It is. It's going to be something like that. That Ezra goes in the world between worlds and places this in a Night Sisters temple of all places. Doesn't just go and find Ahsoka and go, here, come get me. What is
He
this?
can't. He's on the run from Thrawn, and you know how dangerous Thrawn is.
Well, I've got
the non-force power user.
I may as well tell you now. I don't know if you've sort of picked up on this, but you know the Inquisitor character, right?
Oh, the masked fella.
The masked guy. I can't remember his name now. They've named him, and it starts with a Merrick. Yeah, whatever it is. I think that's Ezra.
That's what a lot of people are saying. They're like, "Oh, that's Ezra. That's Ezra. That's Ezra," and I'm just.
I don't get it. How?
The thing that doesn't make sense is how did Ezra get back, but Thrawn didn't? Now I'm thinking that either
Kanan, right?
Kanan, you reckon? No, Kanan died. He blew up.
He blew up.
He died.
Okay.
No, ever really fucking gone.
Well, that's true, and it could be a clone, and it could obviously be a clone. They found his body at the where he blew himself up, and they've cloned him. Very well could be the case.
Wouldn't have been much. I mean. So if it is Kanan, so does that mean that he's
don't kill people anymore? So when I saw person, I was like, all right, go on IMDb trying to look. It wasn't on there. So then I looked, I had to pull back up the episode and look at the credits. Not on there. I Googled it and they're like, oh, it's this stunt double playing him. So I was like, all right, so it's either Ezra, which is how they got the map, or it's Kanan because no one's ever really gone. Or what was their name? Didn't they rename Kanan and Hera's son? Isn't he Jason?
Jason? Yeah.
I was like, maybe it's him because he magically just disappeared. Nobody's mentioning him.
Yeah, but again, this is only supposed to be 5 years after. So when we see him at the end of Rebels, he's what, like 10 maybe? So he'd only be 15 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, some
it's probably
full grown.
It's probably Kanan. Yeah. It's probably Kanan for one reason. That means that he abandoned he's a bad father. He abandoned his wife or girlfriend or whatever they were.
Just
abandoned his child. Yeah,
abandoned his children. Yeah, I'm locking in Kanan now for that.
I just think the way he Oh, the way he stands, especially in that scene, that end scene at the end of episode 2, it actually does. He's sort of leaning to one
all
side
on one foot. Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah,
that. I thought
which
that's
is
a weird way to
actually
stand.
more a Kanan thing than it is an Ezra thing. But they both sort of stand like that.
Put
I'm
in
gonna
the chat. See if people think it's Kanan or Ezra.
Okay, hold on, that's a good idea.
Because it's got to be one or the other. Because Filoni's not that clever.
I'm just gonna put is it? Oh no, well, I don't know what the question would be.
Who do you think Merrick is, Ezra or Kanan?
Who?
See, I'll be honest. I didn't give it anything. I thought it's just going to be revealed as it's just going to be some faceless, maskless person that probably will get a spin-off somewhere down the line because it's a bad guy that they're going to turn to the good side. So there we go. We've got another spin-off later on. I just assumed it was just going to be another Filoni creation. But yeah, you're probably right. They're probably going to do it. That'll be the second last episode. They'll reveal that. It's Reva. Yeah, someone said it's Reva.
Oh
I'm pretty convinced it's Reva.
Okay, poll is in the chat. I hope is Merrick spelt like that?
I don't know. How did you spell
I
it?
think it's Y.
MEREK.
No,
Doesn't
MARROK. I have subtitles on when I watch the shows. That's why I know how to spell it.
Anyway, I spelt it that way. You know who I'm talking about, chat.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote gift memberships. Did I get some gift memberships? Did I?
You did early on.
I don't think I can. I hate how StreamYard doesn't show it. Oh, they were from you, Grant.
Oh, were they? Oh, I didn't notice.
10 gift memberships. They went to Melissa Lord, Pro Jack fan, Corey Darth Scipio, Scourge, thank you. Riff Magos. I thought, oh no, that's it. No. And then that's a chat. Another Monster, Zakarat, Cloud, Waza Hurricane, and
Jin Wong.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude. Appreciate that.
Also, did you know that Merrick is a character that's named after a wolf?
Really?
Yeah, it's a wolf from Rebels. Because you know how Dave Filoni has like...
Oh yeah.
My
weird
God. That might be why it's Ezra. Because Ezra met the wolves and his code name is Merrick. But hang on, Kanan met the wolves as well.
They all met the fucking wolves.
They all met them. They all went through the bloody planet with them. Like,
that's true. Fucking hell. God, what a joke. All right. So again, I don't even know how this map even exists, and whether or not they're actually going to explain it or not is a whole nother thing. I don't know. It could have something to do with Ezra going back between the world between worlds and putting the map there so that they could find him, maybe. But again, I still have no idea what the connection is between the Night Sisters and Thrawn either. So this is where we get the boss fight, like Anna describes it.
Mini fight.
What's that? Mini boss fight. Yeah, mini boss fight. Speaking of boss fights, did you complete the boss fight?
I did. I accidentally beat it when I was on Flashcast.
you accidentally beat it?
Somehow I fucking beat it. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't completely paying attention, so I like just muscle memoried it.
That's funny.
And I finished. I was like, "Holy fucking shit! I did it!"
That's funny. All right, sorry. Before we continue, I'm just going to get this super chat as well from Mike Hill for 5. Star Wars Theory. The episode drags, so I give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I know. I don't understand. I don't understand his scoring system. I just don't get it. To me, it's just fence sitting. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. So Ahsoka takes out like 3 of the 5 droids or something like that, and then
She takes out 2. She cuts
2.
out the ground under 2 so they fall, and then
Yep.
she jumps back up and she starts fighting 2. And then she destroys those 2, and then the 2 come back out, and then they explode.
Yep. Now, obviously, these 3 here set their shit to self-destruct. And my God, do they self-destruct?
I was going to say, I mean, that's kind of scary. I remember in Mando when the other robots were set to self-destruct. Would that have blown up the planet if that was the case? Like, do they have nukes in their chest?
Apparently.
Like, this was huge. And I'm thinking to myself, how? Like, that's a great military asset. Just send in a suicide droid and set it to self-destruct, and you fucking blow up a whole planet. Nearly a couple of towns on the planet. Crazy. Then there's obviously this interaction between these 2. Now, there was a little bit in this where the droid mentioned something about Jedi, the way Jedi do shit. Do you remember this? And then I gotta find the. Hang on, let me take it off screen for a second.
Awkward
sorry.
Talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember much of that conversation.
Oh, here.
I probably zoned in and out with it. I know he
Sorry.
says something, and then something comes on the radio, and then I was Googling. I'm like, I know that name. And
So where he says, I was just following standard Jedi procedure, right? When he was keeping the ship a safe distance away. Because Ahsoka's complaining, like, where were you? And he's keeping the ship a safe distance away. And then he mentions standard Jedi procedure, right? The reason why I'm bringing this up is because, or standard Jedi mission protocol, sorry. When this conversation goes on a little bit more, and she talks about how she interrogated Morgan. And he asks something like, how did you get the information out of her? And she says something along the lines as, I didn't use a standard Jedi procedure or protocol. And I'm thinking to myself, so what'd you do? Like, torture her? Did you go dark side for a little bit there, Ahsoka, to get the information out of her?
well, she is a grey Jedi after all.
How did you get her to tell the truth?
Let's just say I didn't follow standard Jedi protocol.
What does that mean, Ahsoka? Are you a little bit evil? Couldn't have that, could we?
See, I wanted to see that scene. Show us that scene. Like,
so then they get the message from Home One. Of course, they mention Fulcrum, so all the SEALs can clap. You know this.
well, that's what it was. Yeah, I was like, I knew, but I had a brain fart. So
Fulcrum, just so people could do this. And then they go and meet up with Home One, and this is where we get introduced to Hera. I find it funny that it's just Hera and Ahsoka and the droid in this like little conference. No one else wants to talk about the fact that this prison transport was infiltrated by 2 dark Jedi. No, just Hera, Ahsoka, and the
did they
droid.
film this still when it was like COVID mandate, so they couldn't have? Because look at how far apart
I was
they
gonna say they are. Yeah,
standing next to each
True.
other. And even then, it's like, okay, you can't have them all there, so why don't you just have holograms of them around the table talking? Like,
True.
wouldn't this be an interesting conversation for, I don't know, maybe somebody like Bail Organa to be having? Oh wait, no. When does this take place?
Bail's dead.
he's already
He's
dead.
dead.
But yeah,
Even Mon Mothma.
Oh, okay. What about, I don't know, Princess fucking Leia?
Leia. Yep.
I don't know, maybe Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, maybe anyone at this point that's still
Yeah.
alive. Is Admiral Akbar still alive at this point?
And maybe put Jason on a seat in the background or something. I don't know.
he's male. They can't mention him.
So this is where they obviously have the conversation about her finding the map, and Hera talks about how basically Sabine can help you. Now, I think this is where we get the first indications that Sabine was Ahsoka's apprentice, I think.
Well, also, do you guys like how Sabine apparently is the only one in the galaxy that's good at breaking codes? They don't have a fucking droid with a database for that.
With C-3PO.
I know.
But like, even the way that she figures it out, right? She uses the map of the temple that the map was in to turn the cogs to match it up with the same symbols and everything that were on the floor of that temple. Like, no droid would be able. Like, I'm 100% with you. No droid would be able to figure that out and
But
see
it's not
that.
like she was doing it for hours or anything. She turned two things and she solved it. Like, why didn't you just start fiddling with it? You might have accidentally got it. Like,
I feel like you could give it to a child and they could figure
and
it.
they would figure it out exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have Asian kids in space? Just give it to one of those. It'll be already solved.
So then we cut.
As Asian now.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Lothal, and they're doing some, like, I don't know, Lothal Liberation Day or something, as opposed to Empire Day. It's like the day that Lothal was liberated, and Sabine isn't there. I find it funny that apparently she was there and she was standing right here, and then nobody actually saw her leave, you know, because he turns around and indicates that she was there, and everybody's like, oh, she's gone. It's like she must have the Harry Potter invisibility cloak or something.
No, she's Batman.
Yeah. So he gets all like flustered, and this is the thing that I don't understand. They basically go out, they send these guys out to catch her, get her to come back, and it's almost like, I don't know. It almost came across as a bad guy for a second.
Well, everybody knows where she fucking lives. Just send them directly to her house, which is where she goes, and just tell her to come back. Also, why does she have to be there? Like, I don't think anyone should have be forced to go anywhere. You're basically like the Empire at that point.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you're free now. Do what we say when we say it.
Yep.
What do you think of the music in this bit?
Oh,
I don't remember it. Oh, you know what this reminded me of? J.J. Abrams. It reminded me of in the
Star Trek.
The first Star Trek movie he did when little kid
Plays Beastie Boys.
Yeah, when he stole the car and he's driving off and the cop gets him.
Yeah. Made me think of the same thing.
that's what I said. It wasn't a bad Star Trek episode for a part of it.
So yeah, the music just didn't fit in this for Star Wars. Why is there someone knocking at my door? Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I didn't expect a knock at my door. Hold on.
I know.
Please continue talking. You can move forward if you want to, and I'll come back and catch up.
Okay.
We can. I can't do anything. I can't move it forward.
I guess we could discuss the forward aspect of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like this whole thing, like this thing, I was almost getting like a Cowboy Bebop-esque style vibe as well from it, like the way in which it was shot.
Me of the chick from Cowboy Bebop, the live action now.
It does. That's the problem. Yeah. I'm not going to call her Faye Valentine because I can't remember her name. Lethal knows her name. He's obsessed with her.
Whatever that chick's name is.
Yeah, Natalie. That's something or other. Chat. What's the name of the chick from the Cowboy Bebop Abomination? But yeah, like the whole thing and the sliding under the planes and everything. It just reeked of everything that's not Star Wars. And like I don't understand why, one, she has to be there, as you said. Two, why they've decided with this music choice, and the whole way in which it was shot. Like, just go to a home, like as you said.
Sorry, and also apparently there's no one out there at all that travels.
Dude, it's an empty road.
The only one on the road every single time. I'm like, where are all the people? I've never been out on a road and there's no one else, especially if they spent time to build these roads, because it's not like she's on Tatooine, right? Like when Luke is out, he's not on a road, he's off-roading on his speeder. And so it's like, it makes sense why he doesn't run into anyone else, because it's, the very spread out as far as like how the people are. It's not condensed like this. She's right outside of a city. You're telling me that there's no one else? Also, the road goes directly to her house and nowhere else.
Nowhere else. I was about to say that. It goes directly to Ezra's place or her place and goes nowhere else. There's no offshoots. There's no off-ramps. Doesn't go anywhere else. It's just directly from the main city to Ezra's place.
It's a very well-kept road as well, so like that would have cost a lot to maintain.
Well, it only goes to one place, and there's only one person that lives there, so not many people would use it.
It's Padme's house, right? Like, this is just some chick who doesn't really do much.
Let me hit some of these super chats really quickly. So, LJ for Try22. Ezra, for sure, he leans like him. I agree with that. Stands like a gay.
I don't think he was gay.
No,
but you know what? He will be in this because they're gonna make him. They're gonna make their whole relationship a fucking.
Well, that's another interesting thing that we'll get to in just a sec because it's pretty much the next scene anyway.
Yeah, that's why I stopped talking. I was like, wait a minute, it's coming up. Yeah.
Wagon says Disney loves ships
rotating
to rotate for no reason. Yeah, they do. They really do. And then again for another 2, that's the map from
Treasure Planet. Yeah.
Treasure Planet. I haven't seen that movie, I must admit.
It's just okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's probably a little better than this.
And for another 2 says the freeway that goes nowhere. Yep. Freeway that goes nowhere. They spent all this money, taxpayers' dollars.
You know what?
What a
This is
waste.
actually a good metaphor for Star Wars. It's the freeway that goes nowhere.
Yeah. Very true.
Also, why does she need a freeway for that vehicle?
She doesn't.
She's not stopping. She's not stopping. And then she goes. All right. And then, of course, we get to see Sabine's helmet. Seal's clap.
Oh,
Easter
what did she
eggs.
do with her cat thing?
She feeds it.
No. I mean, at the end of episode 2.
Oh, when she leaves. I don't know.
Yeah.
She just
Just
leaves the tub.
abandoned it.
She leaves the tub open. The tub of food. Then we get the message from Ezra. Now, this... I know that we saw this message in the Rebel series. I don't remember him mentioning that she was like a sister to him or anything like that in that message. Now, I could be wrong, but I think in the Rebels animated show, the Rebel series, I think there was a little bit of chemistry in regards to a love interest between these 2.
Oh, he's always had a crush on Sabine. That's like an ongoing thing. That was so obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more than heavily hinted, put it that way.
But now she's like a sister to him.
Because she's a lesbian.
You know what? To be fair, they're taking tips from Game of Thrones now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a brother and a sister means nothing to these people.
True. We'll just have incest. That's okay. And that's really it. We just get a message from Ezra to Sabine. And then they end up on the planet that blew up. The planet that the droid self-destructed on. And I will say probably the...
Right. Sorry, I've got a question for you. You're much better with the lore and everything than I am. The braid, I thought that was a Padawan thing.
It is. Now, obviously, there are people out there that are saying that they liked that element because she is a Padawan to this Balin character and everything. But if they are dark side users, I mean, this guy, Balin, is a survivor of Order 66. He is from the original Jedi Order. So maybe he's trying to bring some sort of elements of what they did in the original Jedi Order that he was a part of to his teachings and what he's doing. So maybe maybe, but again, this is Disney's canon, so I don't know. Like,
No,
it's not like
too, because I feel like they're not true bad guys, if that makes sense. Like they're gonna do this whole redeeming thing where it's like he's saying, oh no, I'm gonna do this my way and start a new Jedi Order so that way nothing like this ever happens again. Also, how come Darth Vader and Darth Sidious didn't sense him with his apprentice running around?
Yeah, I know. I know.
You would have thought, I mean, Darth Sidious would have definitely found them if Vader didn't.
But you
Well,
got to
I mean,
remember, you got to
they made
remember,
a point
Anna,
of that.
that you got to remember, Anna, that in the Andor series, it blows my mind that Vader and Palpatine weren't able to sense all the Jedi and Sith relics in Luthen's store on Coruscant.
Oh no, he had a lead lining on the walls. That's why. Yeah. So that's
Seals
That's
clap.
Superman. That's not the Sith.
What?
That's not how the Force works. It's Superman that can't see through lead.
Oh, but I thought he wasn't he a Jedi?
Superman Jedi.
No, but I mean, like, 'cause if they're going by the canon, like when what's his name had an apprentice, Darth Vader showed up the Emperor showed up to put a stop to that. So I don't understand if they're going to say this is a part of that canon, why they didn't sense him and his apprentice. Makes no sense.
Well, nothing really makes sense. So
No,
who
Darth
knows?
Maul. I can't remember Darth Maul's apprentice's name.
Savage.
Yeah. So I mean, if they've already established it within the canon that they're saying is canon, that the Emperor would can sense it and go there. Why is the Emperor not showing up?
Well, the Emperor's apparently off on what's the planet that he teleports to at the end of Return of the Jedi, making his Star Destroyers.
Yeah, he's with his
underground.
all his clone children.
Yeah. Now I'm going to make another prediction here, because Shin, the apprentice, this chick here, she is very weary of this Night Sister of Morgan, right? And I have a feeling that at some point Morgan is going to kill Balin, and that's going to set Shin off on like a revenge path towards Morgan. Like even the way he's standing there, like that's just Ezra to me.
So she's gonna kill him. She's gonna go for revenge. She's gonna fall in love with Sabine, and then she's gonna be a good guy.
And then they're gonna scissor.
Okay.
That's what's going to happen. But yeah, I will say the dynamic between these two characters is probably the best dynamic in the series. The chemistry between these two characters as master and apprentice.
Notice how they're both white too.
Yeah.
It's like the two white people in the show that aren't in, intense makeup are the bad guys.
Yeah. Of course.
And just to emphasize that they've got white hair as well, just in case you didn't see the color of their skin.
So moving forward, Sabine has a little bit of a dream after the message, and this is where I'm actually going to play the thing that you made for me. Let me bring that up really quickly. Let me just get rid of this. Where is it? Oh, it's on my wrong screen. Sorry, give me 1 sec. Nearly there. Okay. So, this is where we get the crossover with the Rebels series. Now, if we just play this out a little bit, you see the ships come over. Obviously, the retcon that's in there is Sabine's got long hair. Now, this is the bit that I mentioned in my video, is in the animated show, right, when Ahsoka shows up to Lothal in this first moment, Sabine kind of looks happy to see Ahsoka's ship. In the live action, she looks very resentful and hating seeing what's her name ship.
It's amazing what a bunch of backstory off camera can do.
Yeah. So there's your crossover there for that moment.
No, dude, that happened years apart. I heard what people were saying. Years apart. Nothing alike.
Years apart. Of course.
At least 4 or 5 years for her hair to grow that long.
Yeah, but I don't like the only reason why they did the hair thing was so that people could seal clap over her doing the same thing that Kanan did when he chopped off his ponytail. Because it's exactly the same. She's got the knife, she's holding it between her hands, and then she grabs her hair and
no, that's a transformation for women in film. When a woman has changed her mind, she cuts her hair.
Yeah.
Or if they're bald, they get a wig or a face tattoo.
Well, the way she was sitting, it was just like when Mulan cut off her hair.
Yeah. It was empowering, I agree.
Okay, so Sabine goes to meet up with Ahsoka. Ahsoka tells her that she's possibly found a way to find Ezra. And then I don't remember like this reference in here. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it. This in here, does this ring any bells to you, Anna? Like the loaf cat and is this when Ezra was on Ahsoka's ship when they went off to go and fight Maul and Vader and that? I don't remember him doing this, but
I mean, I can barely see it, and I could see drawings on my TV when I watched it, but again, I can barely make out what it is. I would really have to go back and watch all of it, and I don't want to. I don't want to have to rewatch Rebels.
There it is there.
No one does, Anna.
Yeah, I'm like, I already watched it. I don't need to watch it again.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, I saw that and I'm like, that must have been when Ezra was on Ahsoka's ship, but I just don't remember him doing that. So then they end up having a conversation about the puzzle and puzzle number 2 for the episode. Now the reason why apparently Sabine is the one that can crack this code is because she's got the artist's eye. That's the explanation that Ahsoka gives.
That's not how puzzles work. People that are really good at puzzles, it's because they're good with logic.
Yeah.
And they're analytical. Being an artist is almost a detriment to solving puzzles.
I thought it was a bit weird.
That's right. When she said you got the artist eye, I'm like, no, Anna has all the eyes.
Ask me how good I am at solving puzzles.
Yeah.
You want to know how many Rubik's Cubes I've ever completed? 0. You know how you hand somebody that's good at math a Rubik's Cube, or somebody that's like very analytical, they just do it and they hand it back to you. It's like, how the fuck did you do that? And they're like, how did you draw that? And it's like, well, 2 different things.
Yep. So Sabine asks if she can take the map puzzle. Sorry, Charles, go away. Can take the map puzzle away with her because she needs to be able to think and concentrate and all of that sort of thing because she can't think and concentrate on Ahsoka's ship. Ahsoka says, no, you can't take it. You can't. And as soon as Ahsoka walks out of the room, I'm like, she's gone. Sabine's gone.
Dude, I laugh so hard. It's just like, now don't you take this. I'm going to walk out of this room, but don't you take that and leave. I'm like, well, she's going to take it. Like, it's like they have to make Ahsoka dumb in this scenario for her to get away with the puzzle to solve. Like, if you're gonna try and make another character feel smart, don't do it at the detriment of your main character.
Yeah. Of course not. We can't make Ahsoka.
Well, Ahsoka could have, I don't know, locked a fucking door.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, anyone can get on and off of my ship at any time, and I have this like high level secure object that nobody else should have access to. Let me just leave my door unlocked. Anyone can walk on and off my ship.
And I don't know. It's not like I'm force sensitive and I can detect when people are around me or moving or doing stuff.
And leaving. Yeah, I know. That's another. I didn't even think of that. But she would be able to sense Sabine in the other room, and Sabine just leaves, and she doesn't sense a thing.
Mhm.
It's so pathetic.
Mhm.
Anyway, she goes off to speak to the droid. What's the droid's name? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I call him
The
Steve.
droid, the lightsaber droid. About the two lightsabers, because instead of doing a facial recognition scan, they decide to scan their lightsabers. Obviously, this one, the apprentice's lightsaber, he doesn't know anything about, but he tells her about Balin and how he was a former Jedi. So, yay.
Which wouldn't Ahsoka have known him
I would assume so.
if they were at the Jedi Temple together? Because I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people, but even when you like are working, like let's say you go to work, you don't talk to every single one of your coworkers, you would still recognize, oh, that person, like they work with me. I've seen them around, right?
Yeah.
Even something as big as the Jedi Temple with all the Jedi that were there, that's still a speck in the entire galaxy. She would have known.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
especially if it was like, oh, that one person I saw at the Jedi Temple hallway that one time, she would have known instantly because, and also she would have been able to sense him. But
yeah. Not only
Yeah.
that, like as him being as powerful, he would be pretty high level as well.
Mm-hmm.
But also, too, like, I say the same thing about her and Grogu, though. Are you telling me that when she was in the Jedi Temple the whole time, don't start, Anna.
Did you see when his little legs move when he's walking?
Oh my god!
And she
What
would
have
have
I
seen
done?
him when he was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine when it fit in the palm of her hands. How cute he would have been then.
Yeah, she would have remembered him.
Except now
That's
he's a
what-
57-year-old pervert that eats babies.
He's so cute.
That's why it doesn't make sense in the Mando series of her when she meets Mando for the first time and just decides to attack him. Anyway, we get another stoic face of Ahsoka after Sabine leaves. No emotion, nothing. It's like Jedi, they've got this misunderstanding that Jedi don't have emotions. Now, yes, they're basically sort of in a way trained to not give in to their emotions, but having emotions and giving into your emotions is two different things. Like, the way Ahsoka is in this is nothing like the character that we've seen before. Nothing. In the way that she looks, in the way that she acts, especially after Sabine leaves with the puzzle. So, yeah. Do of that what you will. So Sabine obviously then goes back. Now, this scene here, I thought very much Darth Maul from Phantom Menace.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant when he was going after Obi-Wan when he gets killed.
No. From Phantom Menace when, like this bit.
Yeah.
It's like when on Tatooine when he's tracking them. Yeah. Anyway, so Sabine goes. Obviously, the Loth Cat is going to be the Loth Cat. I don't exactly know how to pronounce it properly. Is going to be the merchandise. You're going to be able to get like this robotic Loth Cat or something.
Yeah, I've already got mine on order.
So Sabine then starts trying to figure out the map. And Ahsoka calls Hera and complains. She left with the map! And then she goes on to say that line that Sabine is just as... what's the line? Fucking...
Stubborn as always or something
Stubborn
like that.
and bullish.
Yeah.
Right? Now, again, I've made this point a couple of times now. When did Ahsoka ever have interactions with Sabine to think that Sabine was ever stubborn, ever bullish? And when did we ever see Sabine being stubborn and bullish? I mean, she was probably a little bit with Ezra and Kanan as that sort of father figure. But, like, I don't really know where, like, you can watch every scene with Ahsoka in it from Rebels. And I don't think she ever once says two words to Sabine. in the entire series.
She looked at her at the end. I mean, that was a pretty strong look. So
Yeah, I know.
no,
Sorry,
no,
let me.
no, wait. She's using the Force. That's how she knows.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike Hill for 2 says they went in the Phantom to face Maul and Vader. Hold on. I know the Phantom is the ship. So who went in the Phantom, Mike, to face Maul and Vader? Sabine wasn't with them. That was Ahsoka,
Did he take
Ezra,
Ezra?
and
Ezra went in the Phantom to face Maul and Vader, not in Ahsoka's ship. Is what he's saying. So it couldn't have been from.
Oh,
that
that's true. That's true. I don't know. I have to go back and watch Rebels, but I'm not doing it.
Don't do it.
I'm not doing it.
I'm sure someone's got like a 10-minute or a 15-minute recap of what happens.
I know Fractured Filter is going through some of the episodes, if not all of the episodes. So
On purpose?
Yeah, on purpose.
Oh.
And I know that he wants to come on one of these. So maybe when he gets on here, he can explain it to us. Wagon again says if they aren't copying something, it's a cliche. Oh, cliche. Jesus, why do they fucking spell shit like that?
That's how it's spelled.
If they, yeah, I don't know. If they ain't copying something, it's a cliche. Yeah.
What was that coping?
So, Ahsoka complains to Hera. Sabine then starts to actually figure it out. Now, how do you feel about there being paper in Star Wars?
Oh, that pissed me off.
Mm.
I was like,
It
that's
annoyed me when they.
adamantly was against that. They were so far advanced that they didn't have paper. And then Ryan Johnson's like, hold my beer.
Yeah,
And
let's
now-
have an entire fucking book. That made no sense. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's always been one of my big pet peeves.
Yep. And then Dave Filoni comes in and does the same fucking thing.
Because they need to sell
Ridiculous.
notebooks or postcard sets with all of these.
Yeah. So Sabine then goes 3 faces, and then she figures it out. And she unlocks the map, and it points a line directly to where Thrawn is. Look, right there.
Oh, he's in another galaxy, not just the unknown region. So the space whales, which they stole from Star Trek, they took them to another galaxy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So how did the map get there from this other galaxy?
Yeah.
World between worlds is the only way.
In the ancient temple that I'm assuming it's been there for generations, this map just happened to know where these people would be in the future 5 years ago, where they would be transported to.
Yeah, and a direct line there too, like just straight there.
Yeah, and I could see
Unless
it
they're
from the
like, oh,
balcony.
this was like the ancient whale, space whale, like that's where they're from and that's where they could possibly go back. But no, they're like, this is where he is.
Yep.
But you can't
there.
travel in a straight line in space. That's the problem. Like,
Okay, so Sabine then decides to go outside and just look at the stars and think, oh, I've got to go off to another galaxy. And while she's doing that, these droids show up. Now, how do you feel about this bit? She's got a broken hand. She punches a droid.
Strength.
Oh, she punches a droid in the face. This
at
makes
least it
me.
was a proper punch. At least it was better than when the freaking stormtrooper got his head slapped in bloody
Oh, that's
the
true.
butt plug base on
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan. Yeah.
Yeah. So she fights a couple of the droids. I do find it funny that like that droid that she fought there just happens to stay there so that Ahsoka can go and find it. Like in the next episode.
It was a pretty hard hit. He must have been concussed.
So Sabine runs inside. She puts down the blaster and picks up a lightsaber. Ezra's lightsaber. But no, it's not Ezra's lightsaber. It's her lightsaber. I don't know. Whose lightsaber is it?
All of the women take him.
Yeah. And it's because she made modifications, so it's her lightsaber. And this is where we get the fight between them. Now, I've got a few issues in regards to the fight. So the first issue that I actually have is the choreography was pretty bad, like Anna was saying earlier. Now, it's funny that there are some moments where they've locked blades and there's no sparks, correct? Oh, no. It's just because it was the freeze frame.
Yeah, like, she's not strong in the Force at all. She's using a lightsaber. But also, the chick with the Force just doesn't Force choke the shit out of her.
Yeah, no. Not at all.
Look at, she's spun. She could have stabbed her in the fucking back. Yeah. She's spun. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you going just for her lightsaber? Cut her in the leg, cut her in the back, cut her hair off, cut her head off. I don't know.
Suspend her in midair using the Force.
Like, that last shot that she did was way above her head. Even if she did block it with the thing, it was going to miss her anyway. Like,
I hate the sparks. The sparks. What's the fucks with the sparks?
Because
lightsabers don't do that.
Filament flying off. So if that hits anything, that would be melting through their clothes and skin. Like, you know how hot it is for something like that to spark?
I want to find.
I mean, we've seen it melt doors.
Another spin.
Such basic choreography too. Like, there were so many good scenes that were never shown with like Hayden Christensen wielding a lightsaber. Like the hours that he put into it to make it like look seamless, and then we get this shit.
Oh, I think it was right here. Hold on. So the droid sees Ahsoka coming and decides to run away. That. What is that? She uses her cloak to try and smack her in the face with it? And Sabine just ducks it and doesn't actually like a swing or anything.
I mean, if she just put a lightsaber, she put a lightsaber up vertically, she would have cut her arm off. Like,
yeah. And then Sabine gets stabbed and run through with a lightsaber.
Dude, that's right through her liver. She's dead.
It's.
Guys, remember, Padme lost the will to live.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon got stabbed through his intestines and spine. But Sabine, she's fine.
But so did Reva. Reva got stabbed twice, once as a child as well.
Yeah, but she has the extra, she has girl power plus. Sabine only just has girl power, normal. So that's it. She can't get stabbed again.
And also all the Jedi that faced Palpatine, Kit Fisto and all of those guys that went and faced Palpatine and just got stabbed once and then died. Like, people, there was somebody in my comments saying, like, you're being so pedantic or something along those lines, like you're nitpicking. It's context matters. Ahsoka was so close and was able to get her to help straight away. And it's kind of like, are you serious? Like, Obi-Wan was right there, and he wasn't able to get help straight away. They tried to say that Qui-Gon died straight away, and no, he didn't. He actually survived while Obi-Wan was still fighting Maul, and then fucking died in Obi-Wan's arms.
Not only that, Ahsoka has to fly her all the way back to the city. All Obi-Wan had to do was make a little call, and medical droids would have been down because he was literally in the fucking capital of the planet.
Theed. Yeah, he was in Theed on fucking
or
Naboo.
If he was a better Jedi, he would have just forced healed it like Rey would have.
Yeah, true. So that's the end of the first episode. Any thoughts, guys?
Yeah, my diabetes has cancer now.
It's just, I don't know. Like the storytelling elements, everything really is just bad.
It's poor pacing. It was terrible action. The dialogue was absolutely garbage. 9 out of 10.
That's another thing, sorry, I didn't bring up earlier. Especially in that scene where Ahsoka, they're on Ahsoka's ship and they're talking about the map and everything. It's like My line, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your line, 1, 2, 3, 4. My line, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's so like, the best way that I could describe it for me was it was just really distracting. Like, it didn't seem like it was a flowing conversation. It seemed like, okay, now it's my turn to speak, and now it's your turn to speak, and now it's my turn to speak. It's like they were reading a script. It was
half the time they weren't answering each other's questions. They were having a different conversation. I noticed that they do that, especially in the second episode, a lot. It's like two different conversations are going on at once.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it doesn't
9 out of 10.
nitpick about the paper. Yeah, well, it's not really a nitpick, especially when George Lucas specifically says that he's eliminated paper from the universe. Like, it's not supposed to even be a thing. Like, this is the thing. Like, even a nitpick like that, like Sabine's hair, for example, right? From the Rebels series to this, she grew her hair out. Now, you could say that that's a nitpick, but it doesn't make it any less legitimate as a retcon or as a change. You know, it's kind of like when they, from the Ahsoka novel to Clone Wars Season 7, when Anakin gives Ahsoka back her lightsabers, and in the novelization, she talks about how she gets her green and yellow lightsaber back from Anakin, but in the Clone Wars Season 7, he decided to change the crystals so that they'd be blue. It's a nitpick, yeah, but it's still legitimate criticism. Why? What was the purpose of changing it? There is no purpose to change it.
Because.
All right. Now, we've got to try and go through this a little bit quicker than we did the first episode, because I know that Anna's running out of time because she needs to go to the Jack show in a couple of hours. So, and I want to give her some time to relax between so that she can woosah herself. Okay, so it opens up episode 2 with Sabine in a hospital bed with Ahsoka standing over her, right? I don't think there's really too much in here in regards to dialogue. Again, it just seems like my line, your line sort of thing. And Ahsoka goes and she's, going back to Sabine's house. It cuts then to Balin taking the map to another temple thing. This is again the cutscene.
It's Stonehenge.
Yeah. And they have a little bit of dialogue between them, I think. And she's like, "Tell Morgan that we've found something, so found the way to get to Thrawn or whatever." Then it cuts to Ahsoka going back to Sabine's house. Now, I had an issue with this because
the highway.
Yeah, that's right. I had an issue with this because Ahsoka seems to be able to just use all Force abilities, right? Now, this is a Force ability. What, I don't know what it's called. Do you know what it's called, Anna, when you like touch an item or you can sense?
You can feel like the essence or the remnants of the Force.
Yeah.
It's like a past sense. I can't think of the title. I'll try and look for it earlier, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's from the game.
If something happened with it, you can like sense what's recently happened with it.
Yeah. Now, Cal Kestis has that ability. Now, this is the thing, though, is that different Jedi have different abilities. Force Echo, I think that's what it is. It's close enough. Different Jedi have different abilities and are more proficient in certain abilities other than other Jedi and all of that sort of thing. Not all Jedi can use all the abilities.
Yeah,
or it's very rare.
Where's the specialists? Like, if there would be one Jedi that's like, okay, we need to know some information about this. You go, you got to go to this Jedi because he's the guy who spent his entire life using this Force ability.
Well, see, and the other thing too is like, if you think about the Clone Wars, right? Like, there were so many times where they didn't know who Darth Tyrannus was. Now, being that they were in places where Darth Tyrannus was, Count Dooku, right? If one Jedi that had this ability, this is why it's a very rare ability. If one Jedi had this ability, they would have been able to detect and sense, have the echo moment, seeing Count Dooku as Darth Tyrannus. they would have figured it out a lot earlier. And Ahsoka has never been shown to actually have this ability. So they've just decided to put this in there. I don't know why, because it's completely pointless, really, because she still just goes, oh, there's another stoic look. I'm going to go up there now. She goes upstairs, and she's looking around, looking at all the damaged things, and the droid just happens to jump down behind her. Like, did Shin, just think, oh, I brought 2 droids with me. One's run back to the ship. I'll stab Sabine and leave the other droid behind. It's pretty stupid, to be honest. She then cuts off the head of the droid, takes it back to Sabine because Sabine's been shown to use, be mechanically minded when it comes to droids, I think, anyway.
She has an artist's eye.
She has an artist's eye, that's right. And Hera just happens to be there for some reason as a hologram. Like, let's just put her in the scene. That's what it kind of felt like to me. It was like, I don't know. Sabine says that if this thing overheats too much, then it's going to explode. The droid gets a bit scared, even though he's a programmed fucking, they could probably just put him together better than they could put Sabine back together. Well, who knows? Sabine got stabbed, so.
Have they shown that deadly wound yet?
No, not yet. We're coming to that. It's just somebody heated up a coin and just placed it on her belly and just left a little burn mark behind. So she gets the information, and basically they've got to go to Corellia. The shipyards on Corellia, because that's where the droid came from. Sabine wants to go with her, and Hera says, something along the lines as, she definitely wants you back or whatever. And she's like, it doesn't feel like that. It's just all mopey bullshit. Then it cuts to, stop me if you want to add anything, guys, because I'm just going to keep going. Then it cuts to Morgan coming and showing Baylan and Shin the map to Thrawn. She uses a bit of witch magic.
Green magic.
Yep. And, now there's a line in here that really fucking pissed me off and got to me. That Thrawn is calling to Morgan over space and time.
So, yeah, okay. Is she saying that she can sense him, or what I got is Thrawn's now force sensitive? He can transport his essence over space?
Apparently.
Because when he says he's calling to him, that means that he's projecting. Did you just get the same?
Yeah,
thought?
I didn't really know how to take it. It was just a weird line that really doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't really understand it, and I don't really get it.
Like the bad guys, if anything, they would be fucking happy that Thrawn is out of the picture, so now one of them can take power.
Yeah.
What do you achieve by bringing Thrawn into the mix? Unless you're like his hardcore loyal supporter and you think Thrawn is the best leader. No, that chick would be pining for power. Like, why would you be wasting all of these resources to build a ship to go get Thrawn when you could literally take over and be the new leader?
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, oh, if anything, they'd be like, yes, he's out of the way. Let's take over.
Yep. Well, this is the thing, though. She asks Baylan that question. What happens when we get Thrawn? And what happens to us? Mm-hmm. And he goes, power. His answer is just power.
What do you mean? They're having conversations that aren't the same thing. Like that. Okay, what does that mean? No one answers. Okay, dumb answer. Can you give me the actual answer?
Fucking ridiculous. Sorry, I'm going to end this poll as well. So we got 62 votes. Out of 62 votes, we had 31% say that it's Kanan and 68% say that it's Ezra.
I hope it turns out to be Reva now. That'd be awesome.
Reva. Or it'll be fucking, I don't know, Vader. It'll be Anakin. So yeah, that's pretty much that scene. That's pretty much that scene. This is where, like, again, it's so dragged out. Everything in this is so dragged out. So then they go to the shipyards on Corellia, and they're having a chat with the guy that runs the place, and they're talking about how there's still Imperials that work there. And as they're driving past, like every single person is looking at them, right? Like as they're driving through. And then we cut back to Sabine, who has a flesh wound.
Tis but a scratch.
Dude, like I don't get, like, that's skin. That's not a scab. That's just painted skin.
I just
Like, what does her insides look like?
yeah.
Because like, look at the angle that is. That's coming in at a sideways angle, because otherwise it would be an oval shape because it's gone front on. Like, they can't even get basic stuff right.
There'd be a hole there. There'd be a hole. Her insides would be fucking destroyed, and it would be corduroyed, and
Or maybe
so many times now. I'm just like, nobody's ever really gone.
yeah.
Like,
at least with Fennec Shan, that she had to get her inside completely replaced. It actually made a little bit more sense than this.
well, that's why I'm saying it. Okay, so this drives me crazy. You see how her nail polish is all pilled? They didn't even take the time to do her nails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, that drives me fucking crazy. But anyways, like just cut off her hand, cut off her leg, so that way there's some kind of, like, she lost something from that fight. Like this, okay, I have a tiny little scar that they could probably heal, or it probably is going to be completely healed later. And so if she lost her hand or her leg, like let's say, because she's an artist, right? She cut off the chick, the blondie, cut off her hand, so now she can't paint like she used to anymore. Like that would fuck with her character. Like if she had a robotic arm and she's trying to relearn how to do stuff, like that would drive her crazy. That would put, I don't know, some kind of stakes on the line, and now she wants revenge, and she wants, or just to, maybe not revenge, but she wants to do the eye for the eye thing and cut off that chick's arm. And then Ahsoka's like, no, that's not the way. Like that leads to the dark side. Again, that would be a stake there. And she would have to recover. Also, why isn't she in a Bacta tank?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a back to pad.
Yeah.
I don't care. Put her in a tank.
Like,
I agree.
Anna, what you're talking about is
might have gone up if this chick was in like a little bikini floating in water, right? I don't know if she's hot or not. Like, I don't know what kind of like body she has, but I'm pretty sure no guy would complain if this chick was floating in a bikini.
That's
like,
probably why they couldn't do it, though, Anna.
Yeah, I was about to say that's probably
well,
the
their
reason
viewership would have gone away. Well, no, if she's a lesbian, it's okay, right? Are they going to make her a lesbian now?
Oh, that's
Of course.
true.
Yeah. So then, okay, so why are they hating on lesbians? Lesbians like seeing women in bikinis too.
True.
Yeah, but can all lesbians swim though? They don't want to trigger people.
Interesting.
Yeah, as I said,
yeah,
Adam,
no,
what
I
you're talking
didn't.
about is character development, and they don't do that in this. Like, if she went up to her with a gun instead of getting the lightsaber, got a hand cut off because of that, and got defeated, then she has to have a robotic head. She has to use the lightsaber now to try and learn to get a motor function back. It's a part of her development. That way, you can get her training with her with a lightsaber to, one, get better at using it, and two, recuperate a body. I can't think of what the term is. But yeah, like there's so many ways that they could have gone, but no, she dropped a cigarette lighter on her stomach when she was in a car.
Yeah. No, 100%. I didn't even think about that in regards to the painting thing. But yes, you're right, Anna. That would create some character development for her. Obviously, give her some reason to want to go and fight. She's been removed of her ability to do her art and all of that. Like 10 times better than her being stabbed and surviving. At least you can replace an arm. At least you could replace a leg. Fucking this is just... Anyway, it's so fucking stupid.
That would be a mistake that she should have lost something. Something that was precious to her and who she is as a person. Like how Kanan, he lost his vision and he had to deal with that. So, and they're always like, we want representation. All right, there you go. Even though there's always been disabled people in fucking Star Wars. Look at Darth Vader.
Yep.
You know?
More machine than man.
He can't even breathe on his own. Like, you want to talk about a disabled person? Look at fucking Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, cut off her arm, cut off her arm and her leg.
Yep.
There you go. Just that would have been so cool. Like, that would have shown how bloodthirsty Blondie is if she's just sitting there and she's just like, I'm gonna cut you up piece by piece. Like, that would have been kind of diabolical. She would have been a good villain. But no, it's like, oh, you're just spinning. I could have killed you a million times. If she would have been like, I could have killed you, like, right when we started, but I want to fuck with you.
Yeah.
That'd been great.
But see, that's also too why I think it would have been better for Sabine to go down with a blaster. She could have just started firing at her. She's deflecting all the bolts while moving towards her really quickly and then just slices off her arm. Or something. Like the lightsaber fight was fucking stupid. Let me just get this really quickly. Fletcher Williams, I Suck at Games channel for $1.99. My favorite scene was the end credits. Yeah. Well, there's still fucking 6 more episodes. So this is the one that I was talking about.
Your lightsaber.
Ezra's lightsaber.
True, he constructed it, and by all accounts it served him well. Then he passed it on to you. You have since made your own modifications. So it is now your lightsaber.
So because she made modifications to it, it is now her lightsaber. Is this a justification for fucking Rey having, I don't know, Luke's lightsaber?
Dude, we could have stopped the entire conflict in freaking Mando if bloody Bo-Katan just made a modification to the Darksaber. Then it would have been hers.
True. So they have a conversation about Ezra a little bit, and then about Sabine making excuses not to go and train with Ahsoka. And again, I just don't understand when they ever were master and apprentice. We get another shot of Ahsoka looking blank, stoic. I don't know. Then obviously they're talking about this massive hyperdrive that's being built. And Hera's like, we're not building anything that big. Where's the order come from? And he's like, it's classified. And Hera's like, I'm a general. Like, nothing's classified. And they basically, have a bit of a back and forward. They're like, stop that ship. For the Empire! See, Ahsoka chops off his arm. Where did his arm go? Let's see that again, actually.
It just disappeared.
I said stop that ship. That's an order.
Yeah, it kind of did just disappear.
Yeah. I'll be back in a little bit, guys.
All right. And then Ahsoka jumps through the window. Hera goes chasing after the ship that's carrying the hyperdrive. And then we get the fight scene between her and the Inquisitor guy, Ezra, Kanan, someone. They take out the droid. We saw all of this in the trailers. Again, this is where Chopper acts more like his character than any of the others.
Keep your lid on, Chop.
You saw that in the trailer. We get the fight. What do you think of this fight, Anna? Between Merrick and Ahsoka.
Different. It was video games. It's where you fight, then you have to do the shooting part of the video game where it stops in the middle of your fucking fight to do some shooting thing. So this part,
Enough said.
Well, here's my thing. If this is Ezra or if this is Kanan, she's gonna recognize their lightsaber style.
Mm-hmm.
And she needs to say that. If she doesn't, then she's a terrible Jedi.
But she would also sense them, wouldn't she? Like, you can sort of sense some presence that you've known. Yeah, that's a good point. Again, sparks. I think Dave Filoni and Disney Star Wars think that when lightsabers connect, it's like using one of those staff weapons like that the droids use against the lightsaber. I don't mind there being sparks when that happens, but a lightsaber on lightsaber, we've never seen that in any of George's stuff. There was never sparks like this. Looks like they're welding something. Cuts back to Chopper. Obviously, this is supposed to be a very intense scene. And Merrick runs away, throws his saber, runs away, comes back, calls for his saber, and Ahsoka just moves slightly out of the way of it. Oh, we missed it. It's back this way. Oh, cool. And then what does it do? It cuts back to Sabine then putting her armor together, her cutting her hair like Kanan did, and then after they put the tracking device onto the ship, Hera's like, I'll let you know where it's going. Sabine says, I'm ready. Hera smiles somehow, sort of half knowing that that's where she's going. Like, it's really like, why are you smiling like that, Hera? You didn't hear the message from Sabine. Anyway, then we get the crossover scene, and this is, again, I want to show this because...
This is exactly like the ending of Rebels.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. So Sabine walks over to the mural. She touches the mural and does the tap on Ezra's face. In both. And this is I'm pointing this out as much as possible because the idiots out there want to say that these are two different scenes when they're actually not. They're the exact same scene. The only differences are that Sabine puts her helmet on and that Ahsoka is in her white robes and her Gandalf look.
Well, it's, you know what though? The fact that they did this, it's like, so everything that they did from Rebels was completely pointless.
Mm-hmm.
All of that time, everything they did was wrong. They're restarting again. I'm like, so they're failures. They're all failures. Great storytelling there, Dave.
Mm. Yep. And then it cuts to Morgan putting the hyperdrive into the ship. Baylan senses that Ahsoka's coming and says that it's a shame that he's going to have to kill her because there's so few Jedi left. And again, this is the stand. This is one of the moments where I'm like, hang on a second, is that Ezra? It was this last scene here.
It does.
We made a clean escape. She couldn't have tracked us here.
But she did. Anyway, and that's pretty much the end of that episode. And that is the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka.
Riveting.
It was boring, like Anna said earlier. It was slow. Now, that's not to say that you can't have a bit of, slow storytelling or whatever in something. It's the pacing of it that, you got to adjust certain moments. The whole thing was just slow, though. The dialogue was slow. The fights came across as slow. Everything was really, really slow and boring. And, I don't really know how else to describe it. And then, obviously, you've got all the retcons thrown in there that just confuse. This is, again, the other thing that I don't understand is that all these people on Twitter, these Rebels fans, right, are like, oh my God, it's incredible. Like, do these people actually pay attention? Do they use their brain? Or is it just honestly just the surface level of seeing characters and Easter eggs on the screen?
I think that.
Yeah, because if you were to think about it for even a second, think about the connections of these characters from what they were to what they are now. Think about the story threads. The fact that the biggest one, again, for me, is the fact that Sabine was apparently Ahsoka's apprentice.
Even though she never had any Force sensitivity. And then they had the droid even say, like, oh, out of all of the children that I've seen throughout the years, you are the weakest and the least Force sensitive. And it's like, so she's not a Jedi. You just need to have another whammon. Instead of introducing, I don't know, a brand new fucking character and just have Sabine be a Mando, which she always was, and have like stick to the Mando thread. They're like, no, she's got to be a Jedi. She's got to be that in some way. I think it's because they want to move away from guns, so they don't want her using a blaster. They want her to use a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, so have her use a fucking staff. They have staffs in Star Wars. If you don't want to have a gun, it's stupid and pointless, but you could do that. You could have her using a Wookiee crossbow.
But Sabine had her own weapons. Sabine was her own character. She was a Mando, like you're saying. She was a Mandalorian. She fought Vizsla. What's his name? I can't remember. What was his first name? One of the Vizslas. With the Darksaber. Like, it's... just changing canon. Changing their own canon is what surprises me the most, though. It's one thing to decanonize the EU and completely try and retcon and destroy George's Star Wars. But then the reason why that they retconned the the EU and all of that in the first place was so that they could have their own consistent continuity, their own consistent timeline and all of this kind of stuff. And then they just go and retcon it themselves. Dave Filoni's retconning his own canon, his own created canon. And it's fucking weird. Why would you do that, Dave? But then for people to sit there and praise it, oh, it had its little boring moments, but it's a 9 out of 10. Like, how? How do you come to that conclusion? It's honestly surface level. So, okay. We're going to watch something, Anna. This is something that I do every time that we get a new series or something that comes out. The Great Grizzy. If you're not subscribed to Grizzy on YouTube, subscribe, please go over. Let me just drop. This is the link to the actual video. But please go over and give him a sub. He does some great work over there. So this is Disney Star Wars shills react to Ahsoka Episode 1.
Oh God! Did she die? Can you die from that?
She'll be fine.
Oh my God! Can you die from that? Have you watched Star Wars? Well, in Disney Star Wars, no, you can't die from that. But in real Star Wars, yes, you're dead.
I mean, the good news is it cauterizes. The bad news is that she just got impaled by a lightsaber.
At least, I think no vital organs were hit.
Is he crying? Oh no, he's screaming. Now, one thing you'll notice here, Anna, is a lot of their reactions are the same, and it's all because there's a camera on them. If they were sitting on their couch just watching it, these reactions wouldn't be nowhere near as hyped up and as bullshit as they are.
It's just a name. It's just
See, when you watch something or when I watch something and we do our reviews and everything of it, like even you get to see my reactions on my reviews. I even if there was something that I liked, I wouldn't be reacting like this. Not even close.
the name on a screen, and I'm getting emotional.
Hi, I'm Donald Trump. I'll be joining Mr. Grizzy for commentary. And just seeing Ahsoka's name on the screen gets you emotional? Fuck off, bitch.
A scroll!
We have a scroll!
Okay, I'm just going to get most of the let's goes out of the way now.
Woo! Let's go! Let's go!
All right, let's go.
Another Night Sister, baby! Let's go!
Yeah, let's go.
She's not going to fucking say it right.
Let's go, Dave Filoni.
It's already off to a great start.
I'm sweating. I'm so excited. The rebels symbol!
Calm down, bitch.
We are no Jedi.
Let's go.
Freaks me the
Oh my god.
Damn!
Are they Sith? They got red sabers?
No, they're orange.
Jedi. But bad guys because they have the red lightsaber.
You're all morons. I love it. This is such a Vader in the hallway like scene.
Master and a friend. I have goosebumps. I have so many goosebumps.
Shut the fuck up, bitch!
Awesome. Awesome.
Even though I saw that in the trailers, I still think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do that cool thing I could do right now. You could have just easily used your hands. He's like, I'm going to do this so badass.
Ooh, first fight. Let's go.
Would you please stop saying that? Damn!
Oh!
Dragging them motherfuckers down! That's some good shit right there.
It's honestly cool just to see like lightsabers being used in Star Wars.
You're a fucking idiot.
Whoa!
So, are you Chinese or Japanese?
Just keep flying and moving around.
Nipple chills everywhere.
Altar, do you have any non-freaks to put in my monitor?
Well, no.
Go, 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 go! Okay.
This is already better to me than Mandalorian season 3.
The fucking dump I took this morning was better than The Mandalorian season 3.
Pussy.
Does that mean that's true?
Oh my god. Are you serious?
Live
action, let's go!
These people are literally cheerleaders.
Give me an 8. Give me a U. Woohoo! Give me a giant pussy-looking ass fucker cock shit.
Is that Ryder? Yeah.
Oh my god, is she listening to Huttese punk rock?
I need this song immediately.
Fuck yes.
Oh my god.
Where?
Just skid.
They turned off the repulsor and just like.
I can see you're
skidded
enjoying
away.
this, Anna.
Skid.
That was dope.
That was shit.
The Night Sisters have died.
Whoa!
The Night Sisters of Death are confirmed.
Squirt, squirt, squirt.
Let's go.
The Night Sisters have died.
Okay, so they went with the Night Sisters, not a different clan, but I'm okay with that.
Jesus Christ, I'd really like to grab you by the pussy and throw you into oncoming traffic.
I bet your master found you difficult to find. Please give us a flashback. I never got to.
Dude. That's the galaxy outside of this one that they went to with the space whales.
Yeah, the other
That's
galaxy
where Ezra's
far
at.
away.
Who gives a shit?
Oh, frick on his stick. Oh, no.
Let's go. Let's go.
What the fuck?
Justin! Justin! Look out. Oh, gosh. Oh, Justin. But I'm cheering for the wrong person. I should be cheering for Sabine. Let's go, Sabine!
I'm cheering for the wrong person.
We here at Grizzy's channel do not condone violence against women. We do, however, find it hilarious.
Oh, come on!
Oh, yeah.
What? I'm sorry, what just happened? What?
And you wonder why people call you shill in your comments section.
Venus mine.
Oh! What?
What?
Oh! Oh!
Oh! What did they think was going to happen?
Get the fuck away from me.
I'm sorry, Billy. I'm sorry, Billy.
It's fine. We know people can be stabbed and survive.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't get any of the vital organs, but fucking hell, that must.
No, it didn't just go through her lung.
You're not very bright, are you?
Directed
God, I
by-
love Grizzy. He's so good.
Very excited. Written by Dave Filoni too. Okay, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty solid episode overall. It really is. It really is. No joke.
You're so fucking pathetic.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you
There you go. The shills. Got a shill. What do you think, Anna?
I think that took the essence of what makes Anna Anna.
Oh, this look says it all. The look. That's it. You don't even need to comment. That's funny.
Yeah, 9 out of 10, as I said.
God. And that is that.
You should do it. You should do like an overreaction video. Like, just pick whatever the worst episode is and do a video like that. And like every single time, like a door opens and you're like, "Oh my god!" and just go full ham for like 40 minutes and just start clapping.
I was going to do that and see if a video like that could actually get more views than my actual review videos. I know there's a lot of people out there that are actually in agreement with us, though, Anna and Grant, like in regards to how bad this is. But there's a lot of Dave Filoni shills, Disney Star Wars shills that fucking just...
In Filoni, we must trust.
He's the savior.
Dave Filoni's an idiot.
How dare you say that? He wears a cowboy hat.
Did Angry Joe give it a 9 as well?
Angry Joe's an idiot as well. Can somebody please explain to me why people watch him?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He used
either.
to be edgy,
I've
and
asked
he's been riding off that for
whatever has
years.
brought him up, and not a single person can tell me why Angry Joe is popular.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
He used to be angry back in the day, and that was back when like rage clicks were a huge thing about 8 or 9 years ago. That was, people just getting on thing and going up. People were like, oh, this is crazy. But then, he came popular, and then he hasn't been Angry Joe since, except when he's been accused of stuff. And then he slightly annoyed Joe.
I don't know. But I want to quickly get through this so that we can end the stream. We've been going for 2 hours, and I know that Anna does... How long until Jack Show starts, Anna? It's like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So let's quickly do this, and then we'll wrap this stream up. These casual rages, I'm not going through any like articles or anything. Just want to do these as Ahsoka breakdowns so that people can come back and watch them if they really want to. So let's do this.
I'm all the Jedi.
Okay, so if you're new here, because I noticed that there's a fair big chat, and it's probably because Anna's here. She's brought over a couple of her great people from her chat. I do a segment called Seal of the Week. You all get to vote on who wins the nominee for Seal of the Week. So this week we do have 4 seals. We've got Jake here saying, just watch the first episode of Ahsoka with the picture. I couldn't have a non-Ahsoka one with the praising Dave Filoni. That's nominee number 1. Nominee number 2 is from QG Jenna saying, how do you rate Solo? For me, 8 out of 10. I should blow this up a little bit, actually, so you can actually see it a bit better.
And big in it.
Yeah. A very good film. And Alden, is that how you say it? Does an amazing job carrying the role. I love Kira, Beckett, and L337. And Donald Glover as Lando is such perfect casting. Really enjoy seeing how Han and Chewie meet too. And Drayden Voss is a great villain. Thoughts? So that is nominee number 2. Nominee number 3 is from Jacob here saying the lightsaber duels in the sequels are by far some of the most emotional and underrated in all of Star Wars. You feel the weight of every swing. Really? I thought you only feel the weight of a lightsaber in the Mando series when it fucking gets heavy. Every hit. Can't wait can't wait for enough time to pass for people to realize just how great they were. Dude, time isn't going to help the sequels at all. And then nominee number 4 is Star Wars Theory. With first 2 Ahsoka episodes, 9 out of 10. Some dragging moments. Overall, I see where this is going. It's gonna be wild, methinks. What do you rate it? So they're your 4 nominees. I'm going to put the poll in the chat. Seal of... Oops. While we're waiting, Anna, so the first 2 episodes, give us a rating on episode 1 and episode 2 of Ahsoka.
I don't care enough about it to even contemplate what I rated.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 100.
All right, the polls
9 out
in
of
the
100.
chat. You've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And while we're doing that, while you're getting your votes in, we're going to watch a quick little video. Now, apparently this came out a while ago. I didn't know about it. I've only just seen it recently. Have you seen this, Anna?
I don't know until you play it.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
seen this.
It's Obi-Wan telling Luke about Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano. She was your father's exotic teenage alien apprentice, a fine piece of jailbait from a more civilized age. She had the tightest body and the perkiest little breasts in the galaxy, barely legal in most systems. Anakin and I used to double team her at the end of every during the Clone Wars, and once in a while we'd even have the entire 500 first run a train over her, part of official Jedi training, of course. In time, she learned how to handle a meat saber better than anyone in the Jedi Temple. She wore a miniskirt every day, so we told her there were no panties in space. And since she was constantly doing acrobatics, you'd get a glimpse of her orange pussy mid-fight as she'd do a flip while slicing a B-2 super battle droid in half. It was surreal. We taught her to grip her weapon backwards like a dildo, and she constantly got captured by pirates and slavers almost every other day. It was ridiculous, like a constant porno loop. You'll have no idea. And she was a good friend.
So much like your father.
Oh, I thought it was great. People taking shots.
That was gross, Brian. I can't believe he played that.
Anna with the Ryan Kennel face.
You mean Ryan has my face sometimes?
Is that all right? Let's get the poll sorted, and we'll wrap this bitch up. All right. Huh. I'm a little surprised. Does anybody want to get a quick vote? There's only 27 votes in there. I'll run through them really quickly. So that's number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. All right. We got 32. All right, it's still going. We'll end it now. I'm ending it.
That was pretty close.
Is ended. Why does it do that? It was a split fucking thing, and now it's bloody tied at the top. Okay, so in last place was number 2 with Jenna's take on Solo with 8% of the vote. In third place or second last place was number 3 with the lightsaber fights in the sequels, apparently how good they are, and of course the time is apparently going to make them better. And then we've got an equal first place with just watch the first episode of Ahsoka with the Dave Filoni praise, and of course Star Wars Theory with his stupid number on the first two episodes of Ahsoka, and then straight after it saying some dragging moments, but overall he can see where it's going. Well done to Star Wars Theory and Jake for your nominees this week. You guys win this week's Seal of the Week. Congratulations.
I'm all the Jedi.
All right, guys, that's it. That's this week's Casual Rage. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you for your super chats. Thanks to the members. Anyone that comes and re-watches the stream, I appreciate you guys as well. Please don't forget to smash that like button, either on your way in or on your way out, depending on when you're watching it. Anna, thank you for coming on and talking about this absolute garbage with me. Is there anything that you want to plug? When are you coming out with your episode 2 review?
No idea, but I have to go. I need to go eat before Jack show. So
yeah, okay.
I'll see you guys later.
See ya. Bye. Go and subscribe to Anna, of course. They got the Jack show coming up. So yeah, thank you to Anna for coming on. Mr. Grant Gregory, have you got anything that you would like to plug?
No, this weekend I'm going to be doing a live stream where I'm going to be going through and deleting 60-odd million of my views from my channel to keep it alive. So, yeah, tune in if you want to see me destroy 10 years worth of work. So, yeah, it should be fun.
Fair enough. And this weekend too, guys, we've got the Full Aussie, which is another channel. Let me just bring it up really quickly. It's been going really well over there. Where is it? The Full Aussie. Jesus, there's heaps of people that are live right now. I'll get the link.
Yeah, we have an awesome guest this weekend too.
Yep, we've got Demodge and I coming on this week. So
the Daddy himself. There's
the link to the Full Aussie channel. This is, again, if you are new here, this is something that Lethal and I put together with Lyndon a fair while ago. Of course, Grant's there now too. We've got Mozza. Blabs comes on. Blabs is there. And, of course, the great Ryan Reaper and Skirmitar put in a lot of work with this channel as well. So please go over and give us a sub over there. We just recently got monetized, which was awesome. And you can find all our streams over there, all our videos, all the shorts, and that is really cool too. So that's on this weekend. If you're in America, it's Saturday morning. So for your Saturday morning cartoons, come and join us. And if you're in Australia, it's obviously Saturday evening or essentially really early Sunday morning. As for me, of course, we've got, this on the weekend. You can find me over on Flashcast on Sunday, and then, again, depending on where you are, Saturday night. And then we've got Ahsoka, episode 3 next week. Should be interesting with where we're going with it. And I can't wait to see if my prediction of that Merrick guy being Ezra is true.
Nah, it's canon.
Oh, we'll find out. Might not be either of them. But again, guys, thank you for being here. Thanks to members, super chatters. Thanks for coming back if you're rewatching it on the replay. And we will see you next week for another breakdown of episode 3 of Ahsoka. Take care, everyone.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt!
A few minutes? Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
No, what is it? You have to shoot this. Traveling through hyperspace is like dusting crops, kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store. They're bounce into a supermarket and then...
Yeah.
Be a hell of a mess.
What's that?
Watch. You're losing the deflector shields. Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking very cautious.
You... Go away!
We bounced too near a supermarket?